G2 pulled off one of the biggest comebacks in Valorant history. Team Heretics were smurfing on this American powerhouse 11-2 on everyone's beloved battleground, Ascent. This fan-favorite map is notoriously defender-sided, but to make a comeback like this, is Ascent really this flawed? Well, kinda. This dominating rally was a result of heroic playmaking, impenetrable anchor setups, but worst of all, the Odin. This monstrosity has been terrorizing the paper-thin walls of this floating island for as long as I can remember, and it's about damn time Riot did something about this. So in this video, I'm going to expose Ascent's biggest problem and break down how one Odin abuser pulled off one of the biggest heists ever in Valorant history. Listen guys, I get it. Dying to this over and over and over again can be frustrating, and sometimes you need a place to blow off some steam. So let me introduce you to Grand Roleplay, the best place to GTA RP. Here, you can create a whole system of factions, grow a collection of sick cars or clothes, and it's all done here. The best part is that you can play for free in just a couple clicks. First, hit the link in the description, fill out some basic stuff, and create your character. And now, by using the link below, you get a free premium car as soon as you start. You could register in game too, it's really easy, but just be sure to use my code or you won't get a free 25,000 currency bonus and VIP status. They've also just added a brand new battle pass with cool rewards, and there's a spooky Halloween event going on right now. And if you don't have access to your PC, there's also a mobile version of the game. This is a real analog of GTA 5 on your phone, created by the same team of devs. So what are you waiting for again? So hurry up and download now using promo code Teets on mobile and get a free car. Hurry up and go click the damn link. The score was 10-2 going into the second half, and G2's comeback didn't start off as clean as you'd hope. On pistol round, G2 stacked A and planned on retaking B, which worked, kinda. The offense eventually plowed their way through a tree, but the utility used by the defense was impeccable. KO and Sova comboed a flash and recon up at the top of tree. The molly, shock dart, and spam were all really nice. Heretics were literally in a blender. I mean, just look at how much damage G2 did before the retake even started. But then this happened.
Fishy crosses past, and Balin falls on the other side. They had a perfect trap. No one fell, but it was bested once more. But they're all low. Everyone low. But will it matter?
About to find out. Leaf has something to say about it.
Really nicely handled. But again, Messi! Unbelievable!
Now, with their backs against the wall, G2 were forced to make a tough decision. Either force and prevent Heretics from reaching 12, or save for one final push. They chose the earlier. And honestly, the buys don't look that uneven. Now, after a ton of defaulting around the map, Heretics made the fatal mistake of sending 2 players up mid on their own, while the other 3 went main to complete the split. Unluckily for the offense, the previous is where G2 were stacked with a contact flash trap.
Everything they can to conceal that very fact. But now, they will have to fight. Boathouse is out, the paranoia through. Mid still fully controlled by G2 though. They've given up the sight, but will that be worth it? The classic not causing problems there. Flash over the top. Knife not cleared, Patatek falls. And that's a massive step forward to securing this round. How does Benji Fishy navigate his way through this? Walls closing in. Icy gets 3 as G2 will get their second.
Now, with that converted force buy, the tides are starting to turn. G2 beat back Heretics following eco, but round 16 was going to be G2's first real hurdle if they wanted to come back into this game, but they were prepared. Icy's broken open his piggy bank and has bought an op. The rest of his team's gotten Vandals, but Trent's stuck with the Guardian, which, honestly, on this map and on this agent, might be better than a Vandal. The thing about Ascent is that almost every wall on this map can be wall-banged by a high-pen weapon. Literally, almost any wall. While I flip through every wall, here's some Subway Surfers to keep you entertained. Even this corner in this wall is bangable into tiles. Like, what? I mean, okay, I think that's all of them. But this weapon basically ignores the laws of physics and can damage you from anywhere. And keep in mind, this is only the Guardian. Just wait until Trent gets his hands on something bigger. G2's plan for this do or die round is to... With that first blood, Icy is on the move. His team's plan was to contest mid early and keep the op moving around the map. His next op, B main. Icy understands that after fighting mid, the offense are naturally going to take map control elsewhere, and Leaf's turret just got snapped. That's a telltale sign that there's a kill to be had on B. But just to be sure, Jonah P has launched a cross-map knife after finding out A's been free. It lands. Tag Cypher. Trent moves up next, drones, and tells his jet to get in there. Cypher is pretty far back.
To set Icy up with that drone, and he would have converted that into a kill. So Benji Fishy escapes with his life right here.
They've invested a lot into this too.
Yeah.
Dart, the shot.
Icy whiffed, it happens, but it's about how hard you big whiff and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. He's on his way to Catwalk next. Now in Team Heretics' mind, Jet and her op are running rampant on this half of the map, and without any flashes, their mid-round call is to split A with their Sova. So while Boo's waiting for the rest of his team to group up, he does a little bit of poking.
Oh, Boo missing his opportunity to punish Jonah P on that swing.
And that's so tough because Icy literally...
In the span of just 50 seconds, Icy has had an opportunity to get a kill on almost every part of the map. That's how opping is done! Now he's headed towards A main, the only lane he hasn't fought yet. That's the key to being a good opper. You want to always be on the move and never let the offense predict your next step.
I'm in the thick of it.
By constantly roaming, you force the enemy to burn a ton of utility as you could be around any corner. But Heretics are finally headed the opposite way. Wood and Benji are moving up mid, and Rians is sprinting through spawn to split B. Icy did a lot to get these guys here, but now it's up to these two to close it out.
Garden, like you said. Oh!
Leaf a little early on the trigger, now overwhelmed. Benji Fishy gets the best of him again.
Trent, they know he's here backside. It's up to Icy again to try to support him.
That paranoia not reaching all the way. So they're able to find safe passage and apply pressure onto Trent. But the pressure's going the other way. Rian's in a 1v4. These last couple of rounds have gotten down to Heretics in, unwinnable situations.
Heretics were given lemons, and they tried to make lemonade. By Jet dashing across market, this forced Leaf into making a tough decision. Shoot her, or the guy following her. Once they broke through the crossfire, Trent's job was to stay alive and buy time for Rotates to come in, which he did great at. Just watch as he jiggles a few times, never really committing to any fights. The only time he did was when he could blast Jet through a wall that only his gun could shoot through. If you're Woot, what do? Trent can spam this entire wall and pepper you on your way in, while you're on a timer. If you don't clear that dude out, there's another 3 rotators coming in behind you. But with that economy penetrating round, Heretics are starting to get worried. Team Heretics haven't been winning, so they haven't been buying. G2 rolled the following eco, adding 1 more onto their comeback. So, the offense are taking a timeout before things get too out of hand. Coach, I don't want to lose this game. I don't want to choke. What should we do? What are you saying? How come there's so much construction going on outside? I can't hear you. Coach, that isn't construction. Oh, dear God. So, how did both teams adjust coming out of the timeout? Well, G2 completely flip-flopped their setup. On A, Omen slotted himself into Wine with Sova in Heaven. If he receives contact, Valen blinds, and Trent rips his Hunter's Fury. On B, Killjoy's turret doesn't exist anymore, and Jet's been slotted in. Much more dangerous. But Team Heretics ended up defaulting enough to avoid all of these things and split A. It was a 5 versus 3, but Jonah P really wants to win.
Damn thing. Now the Molly Woot dropped. 13 seconds left. Jonah P holds the line. 3 foul makes that 4.
After those heroics, Trent's Odin is going to take over. And now, because Heretics are on another weak buy, G2 setup is pretty passive. Each defender is playing farther back, including a new opposition for Icy. Every round, he's been on the front line with this elo cannon, but by playing this back, the offense might not expect him. And now Heretics' plan is to default across the map and hope G2 gives them something. But I'm gonna be honest, not a whole lot happens for like the first 50 seconds. Cue the Subway Surfers. Heretics walk around, utility gets traded, you're not missing much, I promise. The defense are just playing so passive and relying on their better guns that rotates aren't being manipulated. But the one cool thing about this setup is that it's actually an Odin trap. With Killjoy's turret in this position, the attackers have to scale up this far in order to break it. And look at this unorthodox crossfire these two have. Icy has main, and Trent is ready to obliterate this market wall. Unfortunately, he didn't get any with it, but it's still cool. Now, eventually, the offense gathered into B main to, go B, and both players fell, op on site, Odin to Boathouse. Now, do you remember the last time Trent was back here?
Still have to try to find a way to get out onto the site. They're gonna have to deal with the door as well. Not really finding any safety, and it's not gonna get any better with Trent and the Odin holding the line. First it was Jonah P, now it's Trent. G2 get to 8.
This Boathouse is Trent's house. Clearing this out against a good Odin player is a nightmare, as there is literally nothing you can do against it. You can't really spam back without stalling your execute, and mollying isn't that easy since, you're out in the open. What do you? And trust me, the Odin only gets worse.
3 foul makes that 4. After those heroics, Trent's Odin is going to take over. And now because Heretics are on another weak buy, G2 setup is pretty passive. Each defender is playing farther back, including a new opposition for Icy. Every round, he's been on the front line with this elo cannon, but by playing this back, the offense are making it so passive. What do you do? And trust me, the Odin only gets worse.
Heretics have another chance to push match point and another new game plan. Since they've defaulted so much, they're going to have their KO apply pressure on A, Omen mid, and have everyone group up relatively quick and go B. But for the first time this game, the Odin is here, primed, and ready. In G2's 2-3 setup, on A, the ops formed a trap with Omen, where Icy takes a shot, he blinds, they farm. But on B, Trent's ready to annihilate anyone who dares to take this path into B main. Pick your poison. The round opens up with HERETICS launching a knife to land directly on Omen's head. As soon as it does, he's forced to retreat, and Boo smokes mid. To the defense, this looks like a default, but what's Trent been up to?
You spoke of that 3-round mark. GT has brought this game within 3 rounds.
Benji Fishy just got lit up too. Bounce on the shotgun, who knows, but he was looking to clear the cam. That's what that was intended for.
Wow, Cypher, that was fun, wasn't it? For some reason, this entire wall from start to finish is wallbangable with a high pen weapon. So at any given time, Sova can pop his dart and hose you down if you aren't ready. But he didn't even do that. I mean, you could use a turret, a cam, or someone spotting, but he just randomly shot it right at the buy barrier, right as it dropped. Where the attackers start. Like, you could do this if you got lucky enough. Why is this in the game? Regardless, Cypher's not dead yet, but as the drone inches closer, Trent is forced to fall back, and as HERETICS pops his null command, G2's Odin lover hatches a big brain strategy.
Just come through the spam. Connecting would be lethal. Not able to settle it for more, but I mean, with both of those gone, G2 a big advantage. But again, Leaf is on site by himself. Not able to hold on much longer.
The thing about Ascent's choke points is that they're super spammable from relatively safe positions. The only issue is that good players can follow the tracers back to the shooter and punish if they're not using a phantom. But look at what Trent's doing here. By doing the cha-cha slide while unloading your mag, you become a lot harder to hit, especially while you're trying to execute. Notice how he only dies when he stops moving. I mean, Trent probably should have gotten out, and Leaf unfortunately couldn't get one, but this Odin not only bagged 2 kills, but it also bought enough time for these two to start a perfectly timed backstab, which I don't think Boo is suspecting.
And now it's on G2 to find some space. Boo, perched up, trying to snap onto him, he can't. Valen with really nice shots, and now Icy filling in on the space behind it. The Paranoia, he's got a shorty in hand. The Paranoia will not connect, but Icy's up does. Can HERETICS keep him back? The first found. That's all he will find. G2 will get to 9.
G2 are 2 rounds away from tying the game, and Team HERETICS are shaking in their boots. They take their second timeout as a last-ditch effort. Okay, so I already made a stupid Odin joke earlier in the video, so I'm gonna keep this one serious. This timeout is actually really difficult to handle if you're Team HERETICS, as there's a bunch of decisions you can make, and they all could work. Round after round, Trent has been turning your team into Swiss cheese on B, so how do you beat it? Option A is that you can invest in some heavy pen weapons of your own and try to spam him back in a heavier B main default. The only issue is that he's sprayed from multiple positions before. You might not have a chance to spam back before it's too late. Option B is that you can go for a heavier mid default. With the threat of being split on, Sova should be much less likely to camp on this lane and spam through this wall. Or if they want to get super crazy and really get into the defense's guts, I'm not against that either. Then there's option C, which I like, a quick mid default to break this alarm bot. The defense spreads out into a 2-1-2, then just go A. But the problem with that is that in their timeout, G2 could move their Odin across the map. This gun's fantastic on all parts of this map. So what did both teams choose? Well, for G2, not much at first glance. They could just be waiting for the next full buy, but they're still set up in their early 2-1-2. Now HERETICS are set up in a 4-1 ready to hit mid. But with Cypher contesting a main, you'd think that's where they'd be headed, and not into this. HERETICS open the round quick with a recon flash combo to make sure Icy's pushed back, and a market 0 point to top it off. There are 0 gaps in this mid default, but in response to losing so much space, Leaf follows Trent's drone down B main, and he starts taking pot shots. But he doesn't stick around for too long. Playing this deep ass killjoy can be risky, but Leaf's objective is to just make it feel like the defense have this deep of a line. In the meantime, the offense have droned up mid, discover the defense's alarm bot, break it, but G2 don't care. Normally when a defense's alarm bot gets broken, one player will rotate over to cover the gap, but not G2.
We do not care.
They have full faith in Trent to lock down this site. I mean, he's done it time and time again, so they've told Jet to just hold her ground, expecting HERETICS to be tired of this Odin and go A.
Let's leave.
Instead of having Jet rotate, they're letting their turret hold B, while Sova takes first, Killjoy faces the wall and doesn't get blinded, and they farm and market. But Heretics are headed back towards main, and have left their Cypher to lurk. Why though? Why not just go A? You've gotten burned so many times by this Odin, maybe Heretics like it?
Rotated here. They could flood in.
Benji Fishy's got a lot to do here. If he can strike at just the right time, maybe. But now they know where Leaf is. Benji Fishy gets one, but Trent got two. Neural Theft invested though on the other side, and now the Hunter's Fury. Spike committed. Spike planted. Can Rian stay alive? No. 3 on the round for Trent again. The Wonder Kid delivers.
Cover going out.
They've done this, Trey. Boo in the face of 4. The flash, the updraft, but they don't check him. Almost disaster, but Trent gets 4 again. They've gotten it down to 1. They've brought this thing back.
Just like we've seen before on this execute, Trent used his echolocation to figure out where Jet dashed, put her low, shoved a shock dart up her ass, and then spammed KO down from full. Then, of course, his ult secured it, but whether he's spamming B main, through smokes, it doesn't matter. Trent's Odin is fueling the momentum to G2's comeback, and Heretics need to stay away. Trent and his Odin have completely taken over this game, so much so that Heretics finally adjusted their default. They've had enough lead for one day and are ending A, so Jet's headed over adjusting in their 1-3-1 default. Now the defense, once again, are confident that Trent and Leaf are enough to bunker down B with their Odin, that even if the offense break this middle arm bot, no one is going to come over. Heretics are probably going A at this point, but their mid setup is interesting. Previously, we've seen the bot get placed closer to arches to get earlier information on mid, but now it's been lodged into this corner so that it has a lot less likely of chance of being broken, especially when this turret is kind of baiting for it. So with the Odin scaring people away on B, a good bot setup that should hold on to mid, Heretics should be funneled into a 3-stack on A, featuring Icy's op. Team Heretics open the round with a new mid default, Smoke Cat, Knife Arches, and Deep Recon. Switching up your defaults is good. You don't want to get predictable, but no one's... Do you mind? Trent's spamming through B main, pinning Cypher back. He slapped his cam on the wall, but Trent's shock breaks that. In response to not being able to take B main, Heretics activate their owl drone and follow it through mid, so Trent responds by using his own drone down B. He spots Cypher, he gets beamed again for most of his HP. If the defense lose mid, they take main. But they didn't really lose mid. The turret did its job, making sure Leaf's alarm bot is still alive and well, as Heretics didn't feel safe enough venturing this deep. And now, as I predicted, the offense start making their way back towards A, but wait, Omen? Cypher? What are you guys doing? There's no fucking way!
Daddy, chill.
What the hell? The attacker's mid-round call is to apply pressure A and pivot back to B and into this Odin. It's like a toxic ex that Heretics just keep coming back to. Okay, well, these 3 are on catwalk. What's the fake look like?
But in time at the beginning of the round to clear that.
Yeah.
But this time, wanting to go A, the paranoia is going to tag so many.
It's a great Omen flash. A lot rests on Icy's hands right now with that operator.
He's got reinforcements, though. He's got the cavalry behind him.
Nobody wants to make a mistake. That's a really good flash, but a counter. Jonah P with the punish on the Woot.
They have committed? I don't think Jet really needed to go through this choke. That might have been a bit too much. Regardless, the rest of Heretics have grouped up with their Omen, who has broken Leaf's bots. Benji's also made his way all the way up B and is ready to split. The potential of G2's comeback all rides on the anchor job that these two can pull off.
They're gonna go into Trent. Benji Fishy trying to play around the timing as best as he can. There's no real way to go. They've got to commit onto this. There's no safe passage out. Trent still gets his one. 13 seconds left. The spike hits the ground. Benji Fishy has to scoop it up in the face of 3. Can he get this off? Committing to the plant, but will fall. We are tied at 11.
All right, class. After losing on B to this Odin, time and time and
2 hours later.
Time again, where do you guys think Heretics should go this round? A! Let's go A! They should go A! Wrong. They're going B! The offense have even forced into this round, desperate to try and get their second round this half. Oh, and yeah, forget defaulting. That takes way too long. And A is overrated. They're slamming their skulls right into the Odin. I'm sure this will go great.
This is the kind of chaos I was expecting a couple of rounds ago, though. Boo committing, maybe an ult out from Rien's at the same time. But Leaf is buying his patience and getting 2 for it. One singular Leaf keeping him back, and now Trent involved as well. Boo was the first on to action and the last to fall.
So because round after round, Heretics have been getting spanked by this Odin, they all zeroed in on it this round and were hoping to overrun it. I mean, it is the thing that cost Heretics their lead, and they're tired of being abused by it. So by rushing it down, the attackers thought they could stop it, which in theory can work, but you can't forget to clear the corners in the progress. And after Leaf went down, Trent cleaned up by blasting 2 through these paper mache walls. This gun is living rent free in Heretics' head. They're tunneling too hard on this site and need to get away from it. Just why? Why are we leaning B again? Do we like losing? Is this fun to you guys? Are you guys masochists? Heretics' plan is to go B for some reason, but first fake a mid default to try and play with rotates. But with this beast on B, there's no point in rotating. He can clearly handle his own, so just keep everyone on A. But I guess Heretics think otherwise. They start their bad fake by smoking CAD and darting arches, while Cypher takes B main with a lurk cage and cam. Why is Cypher always the one getting blasted? Jet also got chipped, but who the hell is actually in main? It could be anyone, so Trent rips a recon and gets ready to spam some more.
So much damage. Dart cleared, and now Hunter's Fury out.
No connection though, and a dagger.
Trent has been so good from back here. The paranoia from over the shoulder from Valen. Woot has to slow down. This is not the pace they like to play in. Woot will fall. A 4v4. And both Boo and Benji Fishy weak, but they're the ones getting the kills. But you have not dealt with Trent. Still posted backside. Another kill found. Check your watches, kids. It's Trent time.
Heretics to plant A and use the Sova ult from spawn off the tap.
For down so big, so great. What a miracle this would be if Boo can pull this off.
33 HP.
The defenses of G2 have been stalwart. They've been perfect. And now Boo's spotted somehow getting the lower HP than he had before. 14 ticks. The only thing keeping us from Lotus. And that's exactly where we're headed. We thought they were done. We thought they were dusted.
The walls on Ascent are too thin. Riot needs to buff them. This gun was even worse on Lotus. Remember how insane this was?